The 2025 Southern Conference, Dale Evans, building the transition zone.
North Carolina, and I'd like to introduce Dale Evans here. Dale, he's the Director of Operations Tennis Center. He's really Oakland, and he's a two-time industry national award winner, two-time national coaching champion. He played collegiately at Jackson State University. Dale is both his Both of his parents were one of 15.
Everybody hear that one clearly? Both my parents are one of 15. Right? No. Yeah. Now I'll make it quick and short on that. It skipped a generation because my dad only had 3, but I've got 4, which in today's economy is 15. For sure, okay. Thank you guys. Thank you, Chris. Okay, that's awesome. So, yeah, 2 families. So I have 28 uncles and aunts. Literally can't make it up. That should tell you guys all a little bit about me, which, yes, I'm from Oakland, California, so thanks for the entry. But that would also tell you, being one of 15 from both parents, that I have Southern lineage, right? So both my parents are from Mississippi. Which is what bakes into the 1 out of 15 for each side, literally. So, glad to be here and thank RSPA and Alan and Pat for having me come down. I know Alan Jensen had asked me to come down a couple years ago, and so it's really awesome. I always have to kind of give a big shout out to the pathway of why we're here as we get ready to jump into transition zone, which most of my career, I've been heavily involved in RSPA, so very fun and very fortunate to have served on many committees and national governing bodies with them, but also that now having a lot of fun in New York at the National Tennis Center. So we're going to take a quick dive into the transition zone really quickly. So I got a pop quiz of the morning, and open, interactive. I will see if we have at least 2 people who have really good half volleys or 3 people who love half volleys to come out and play. So we'll have some. I see you got a racket in your hand. You don't have to, not now. I'm gonna pick them for you in just a second. And if I have a third or a fourth a little bit later, that'd be awesome too. Okay. We're definitely gonna have fun. Definitely want to encourage you guys to feel it out and share some of the creative things that we do. So. One of the things I'll start with is we'll take a quick walk. Everybody knows the length of the court here. You guys are all elite pros on track to be a master pro. But one of the things that we always look to develop the transition zone is because we all know the best players in the world are great at time management on the court, right? So they're great at taking time away. Novak's probably the best of all time at changing directions. And so we always want to elevate the stature of every kid or adult's transition zone, right? Second thing to kind of keep in mind is where the transition zone is for us. I've seen so many different iterations, 6 zones of the court if you're talking about Mark Fairchild. That's vertical zones, deep defense way at the back, ultimately to the attack or the finish zone here at the net. I prefer to kind of consolidate those last 2 defensive zones into one, so I really preach 5 zones of the court, but you guys are great to take it where you're from. What you'll notice is where that normal 60-foot line would be, and you guys can see, of course, missing a few lines. Don't laugh, anybody, right? But right around where that 60-foot line would be is obviously the definitive start of the transition zone to about that 3-step depth at the service line, right? So very clearly we know where it is. Some people call it transition, some people call it neutral, whatever you like. I like transition. But the big thing is when we're working with our adults, they don't care. Those words are way too big. I like to call it the moat or the pathway to the promised land, right? The promised land is the offensive zone of the court, and really, really important, and keep this in mind, 82% of the points in doubles are won by the team that controls the net. You guys hear that? And I didn't just say that because I'm born in 1982, okay? But 82% of the points are won by the team that controls the netting jobs. All right? Keep that in mind. College stats. And these may be slightly outdated because I played college tennis from 2000, so it's 25 years ago. But at that point, 84% of the college matches were won by the team that controlled the doubles point. Okay, so kind of there's just selling nuggets when you're preaching to your clinics, when you're talking to your juniors about the what, the why, and why you got to really master this zone. Quick question. I'm going to go one lady and one guy. Ladies first, right? Best half volleys or low volleys of all time. What do you guys think? Who? On the ladies' side. Come on, come on. There's no right or wrong. Martina? Martina? I would agree. Definitely on the women's side. Definitely. Absolutely. Hingis? I think Hingis had great feel. I don't feel like she made her money in that zone of the court, just personally. I think she had great feel for the generation that she played in. If I had to vote for Hingis' generation, I would actually defer to Renee Stubbs. That would be my personal thought. Just for I've seen her and Leander Pace do some things in this zone of the court that no man or woman should be able to do with the half volley. And I'm still working on it today. Okay. What about on the men's side? Best half volleys. Come on, down here at the end. Anybody? Edberg? Sampras? Wait, what's our? Rafter. Ooh, that's a sneaky. How dare you go non-American when you hear, what's the deal?
That's why they keep me here on the outside.
Okay, got it. So I heard Rafter, I heard Sampras, I heard Johnny Mack. And did I hear one more? Edberg. Somebody said Edberg. Yeah, I love the sweet. Yeah, those were very tough. I would actually probably say Johnny Mack, slight nudge over Edberg personally. I like to defer to Leander Pace again for a lot of stuff. Never seen anybody pick up a half volley lob the way he did with the pace of the game. So keep that in mind. And last nugget for those that are trying to build from the ground stroke in this zone of the court is that 86% of the points off the serve return are won by the team that receives the second serve. So if you're talking about your doubles team that has spent tons of time playing deep defense off the first serve, we want to put heels inside the baseline and emphasize taking control of this zone of the court. Okay, so 82% by the team that controls the net in doubles, 84% by the college team that wins the doubles point. That's going back into the 1900s. I know all of us were born then. And then 86% of second serve points are won by the team that receives the second serve, okay? So keep all that tug of war in mind over this mode, okay? Very, very important. So with that said, I'm done talking, and you guys are here to see because I want to make sure you guys have at least 4 to 6 weeks of lesson plans. Hopefully you've got the agenda layout, and we'll try to comb through it and hit balls and play, okay? So with that said, can I get 4 volunteers to come out and go through the first round? I got 2 here, and I'll be nice. We'll make sure we don't move you too much on the clay courts. Wink, wink. I know they're like, I thought when I pulled up this round, I thought they said hard courts. You look like clay from the parking lot. So can I get 2 more people out, and we'll be nice. I'll make it very easy. Anybody else? Okay, come on. You look like you kept saying Leander Pace. You got to get out here. Okay, you got to get out here. All right, awesome. And maybe one more. Anybody in one more? No. Cole Hahn? No. Okay, awesome. She says she's in. Perfect. And if you need a racket, we got extra. So first drill we'll dive into very, very light warm-up drill. Nothing super intense. I'll let you guys get a little bit of hitting in. It's going to be very simple. We call it the zipper drill. It's just a simple 2-ball hand feeding exercise, which we'll start, okay? So we're going to have one line on the baseline, middle. That's going to be part A. And let me take take 2 seconds to back up a little so I know everybody's names in case we go astray, all right? So real quickly, you are? Sophie. Nice to meet you, Sophie. Blair. Nice to meet you, Blair. Steven. Awesome. Devin. Like Devin, but with a B. You got it. You guys spell it the same way? Yeah. Awesome. So I got...
Not spelled the same way.
Not same way? So I got Sophie, I got Blair, I got Steven, and Devin. So at this club, does everybody's name have to start with a B just to work there? Okay, all right. So, excellent. So first ball, first key is going to be, or first exercise is going to be a very simple 2-ball exercise. Simultaneously, the reason why we call it zipper is we're going to start the feeding process in the deuce court. However, as we shift through, the second ball is in the ad court. Now, why it's called zipper is because while Sophie is getting her backhand, Blair will be getting her forehand simultaneously. So the exercise tends to integrate and the flow continues on. Sophie, as soon as you're done, you're going to exit out of the ad court and jump right back in line. This is just a brief segue. I wouldn't spend tons of time on this, but you guys will see the very next progression from it, okay? So, Sophie, Blair, don't worry, my feeds will make you look good, and you'll do the same, vice versa. Ready? So here we go. We'll go deuce, beautiful, and then Sophie add, good, perfect, and then Blair deuce, and add, Steven jump in, let's go. Good, okay? Devin jump in, let's go. Good, Blair, let's go. Good, good. Tighten it up there, Blair. Excellent. Okay, and at this point, I'm starting, yeah, we're warming up, but I'm trying to practice the big philosophy, okay? So I'm trying to practice the privates in a group philosophy, if you heard what PIG stands for, okay? So I'm thinking about Bevan, making sure he drops his back knee. Okay, good. I want to make sure Sophie finishes her call throughout. And these are all the things, they're doing this on purpose so I can give a couple teaching points because I know these guys are all awesome players. Okay, and we'll finish it with Bevan in 3, 2, 1, and breathe. All right? Okay, so very light warm up. Okay, and again, we want to be able to isolate any individual aspects of their game throughout that, focusing on recovery steps, etc. But we're going to quickly shift. Okay, so Sophie, I'm going to have you step up to around where the tape is. Blair, same thing. Steven, and good. The S is over here and the B's are over there. Love it. So, right now, we're going to shift into the transition mindset very quickly. I'm going to give one deep ground stroke. Your goal is to hit a recovery step or two back to the center. And then my second piece, same side, is going to come in much, much shorter. Okay? And the goal after that is to do two things. One, emphasize starting to have vertical movement throughout the court, part A. Part B, when you exit, ladies, you're going to exit towards the green cone and then circle right back in. Okay? Ready? Here we go. Outside. Good. Step up short and shallow. Next in. Let's go. Outside, guys. Good. Next, step up short, shallow. Good. Ready? Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Outside. Good. Step up short, shallow. And last one with the gentleman. Outside. Good. Step up short, shallow. And get there, and breathe. Okay. They did something that was perfect, and I didn't even work with them for more than 5 minutes, but I love it. Did anybody notice that they didn't change sides? The S's and the B's stayed on the same side. Okay? So, you can do it two ways. One is obviously going east to west, but I like to spend time making sure they master one half of the court, focusing on the outside shot emphasis, right? So I got Blair and Devin working on all backhand outside to outside, and then I got Steven and Sophie focusing on all forehand outside to outside. So, light round of applause for them for that first round. Because after this, they're going to be thinking about the heat and humidity a little bit more. Okay? So, very next thing we're going to do is start to think about vertical ground stroke or vertical chain management, right? A lot of south to north to further north. So, we're going to manage this line in a slightly different manner. We are going to keep them on the same half of the court, however, I'm going to have you switch, right? So this is good. Blair to switch. Good. And Blair, you're going to lead my line up to that neon green cone. Out, actually, literally out there. Awesome. Bevan's going to follow her. Sophie, Steven, you're going to jump in here. Excellent, excellent, perfect. And Blair, do me a favor. If you can toss those two cones, you can leave, yeah, just make sure they're clear of your feet here. Okay. Thank you. You can leave those cones there. So as we get into this next one, this is going to be a 2-ball exercise, slightly higher octane. I'll try to get into the camera quickly, but the big goal here is going to get these 4 to build their transition ground strokes. Okay. So Blair, I'm going to have you slide out to where the 60-foot line would be. Sophie, the same. Very good. Awesome. Okay. They only have one goal, and one goal only, is that the first ball must bounce. So whenever I feed, keep that in mind. Your first ball must bounce. Your second ball cannot bounce. Okay? All right, here we go, ladies. Let's set the standard. Ready? Okay, I'm going to guide you through, Blair. First ball must bounce. Second ball cannot bounce. Good, don't worry, do that again. One more time. The guinea pig always gets to go twice, okay? So everybody now knows what we're doing. First ball must bounce. Second ball cannot bounce, okay? After you're done with your second ball, exit out, isolate, and stay on the same half of the court, okay? So it's still a SS or a BB conversation. Ready? Here we go. Okay, bounce. Get in and volley. And rotate. Bounce. Good. Get in and volley. Ready? Bounce. Okay. Get in and volley. Good. Bounce. Okay. Get in and volley. Don't worry, Steven. Nobody saw a thing. Bounce. Here you go. Steven's like, yeah, keep the camera turned to this side. Keep the camera here. Good. And breathe. Okay, awesome. So great round there, okay? That was the easy round, AKA here comes the fun round, all right? So first things first, I don't want you guys to think about where they are on the court. I want you guys to think about the vertical movement aspects of this, okay? So very, very important. Second thing, we all are in the industry. How can I make this more challenging? Anybody? It's not about me, it's about you folks. How can I make it more challenging, Devin? Go half volley on the second. I like that. Steven, Sophie. Beautiful. Love that. Okay. So we got to work on the low-high aspects. Say it again. Oh, he's brutal. I don't like that. I'm telling you right now. There you go. Did you hear? They said, shall we take a vote on that one? Right? Okay. That's awesome. So all good stuff there. Very good. Okay. So we're going to simplify that progression. Okay. And we're going to come back to how we can make it harder in just a moment. Okay. And I like your thought process there, even though they don't. So my first thing is I'm going to have Bevan grab a cone. And also Sophie, yep, you can grab any color cone, okay? Yeah, we don't care. And then also toss one over to Steven here. And Blair, if you can do, we got another couple of shallow cones here. Excellent, very good, okay? Who has a two-hand backhand in this group? Very good. So let me get my two-handers over here, ladies in the ad, gentlemen in the deuce for this exercise. And you only need one there, Blair. You're looking good, okay? Awesome. The line alignment stays the same, part A. So Sophie, you're good there. You're excellent. Steven, you're going to hang out there. And here's how we're going to make this slight bit of a regression for somebody who's a young junior who are really focusing on the receiving aspects. Remember, there's only one shot in our sport that you can send without receiving, which is the drum roll. What is that shot? There's only one shot in tennis that you can send without receiving. Say it again. Serve. Beautiful. Every other shot, you're receiving before sending, okay? So I want to build those receiving skills before we get back to the harder aspect. So, Bevan, you're still going to have to drop back and play that forehand. However, ball B, your goal is to catch it via the cone, okay? Sophie and Blair, same thing, but my two-handers have to go lefty forehand. So I want you to go with two hands on your racket, take your right hand off the bottom, leave your non-dominant hand in the position that it would execute during the actual shot, okay? This is great when you're in a private lesson setting or a semi-private setting. You can slow things down a little and you can give them that extra attention for this, but you can also do it in a very small segment of a large group lesson. I wouldn't go 3 minutes or more, get it out of there, because your ladies, members will be going, hopefully you're not doing that again next week, all right? So Bevan, here we go. Back up, good, and literally catch with the cone, okay? Good, nice, rotate out, back up, okay, good, catch with the cone, okay? Nice, rotate out, back up, good, catch with the cone, okay? Awesome, very good, back up, okay? Good, catch with the cone and time. I'm gonna do another round of that and kind of focus on some of the stickler aspects, so to speak, or finer points that we wanna see. Two things. Number one, I wanna make sure I see navels outward. So I wanna make sure you guys are completely sideways when you receive the ball. So if you have a Nike sign, I wanna see it going to the doubles alley. In part two, I'm gonna pick on Bevan a little here, but Bevan, I want you to stop after the catch, okay? Freeze, don't move. You guys like the height of where he received that, yes or no? Talk to me. Bent over, okay? Not in enough of that Olympic level lunge position with the back knee, right? So I want to see him like a curler in the Winter Olympics. I want to see him in that Billie Jean King, that iconic photo where the knees drop down. Very important to me is the height of the catch, okay? I want to see him receiving in his offensive zone of his body, which is at the biceps or above. That's a green light zone for us tennis players, okay? So he's gonna have to work his tush off to get to that position for reception, okay? If I catch him catching it down in the neutral zone or defensive zone of his body, we're talking a lot more about that, all right? So let's go one more round. Same exact thing. Focus on the height that you receive. Ready? Back up. Move up. Catch. Next. Back up. Good. Still got to turn sideways, Bevan. Okay? Split. Turn, turn. Oh, almost. Navel outside there, Sophie. Okay? Split. Turn, turn. Oh, come on. Back up. Blair's going to nail it. 3, 2, 1, and split and freeze. Good. Excellent. Back up. Okay? Bevan's going to nail it here and freeze and don't move. Okay, so this group, I asked them to do it the wrong way. Don't worry, wink, wink, because I want to make sure we keep them coming back for like another 6 weeks, right? So they did everything great on the ground stroke. The only thing I want to make sure is when they're done after the split, there's the pivot and extension, so hips are completely perpendicular to the net. But that's just for us to keep going teaching-wise, okay? So awesome, round, and then let's sit the cones out, because now is where we're going to really push it, all right? Okay, Stephen and Sophie, let the first feed go by. And this would be the most advanced progression of this that I would go along with your vertical movement regressing away from the net, okay? Don't go for this first ball, Stephen or Sophie, let it go through. So that's gonna be the push of the feed that I send for them. Now this is probably at your 4.0 plus level, or your junior that's starting to move out of the L6s into the L5s, okay? So you have a little bit of a concept of which demographic you should be using these for. And this is now gonna extend into a 3-ball exercise. So first ball, Stephen, Sophie, beware, it's gonna be a heavy clay court feed. Drop back, play the A. Second ball, short ground stroke. third ball floating volley. So now we've checked off all 3 levels of that vertical chain, right? We checked off defense, we checked off transition grounding, and if they're doing their work, we're checking off first volley in the offensive zone of the court, all right? Ready for that? How many balls, Steven?
3.
Beautiful. Sophie, be alive. Ready? Let's go. Back up. Hold. That's on me. I didn't push him enough with the feet because I really want to see him have to drop back and defend off the back leg slightly for this first volley. So, Steven, you're going to have to move away. I'm not going to be nice. Ready? Here we go. Back up. Good. Move up. Volley. Next. Let's go. Back up. Good. Move up. And volley. Next. Back up. Okay. Good. Move up. Good. And flow for the volley. Back up. Good. Good. Move up. Come on, Blair. And flow for the volley. And breathe. Give them a huge round of applause there because they made that look like they do it all the time. Okay. With that said, can we get just a few balls up? And I want to take any questions on that while they grab a few balls up. Sophie, Blair, Steven, and Bevan, if you guys have questions also, feel free to dive in. Any questions on those couple? No? No? I thought Moody was going to give me a hard question. Go ahead. Correct. Thank you. Spent a lot of time, obviously different topic today. You guys can do a little research on what's called the 2-racket method. I had a great amount of opportunity to work with a lot of high performance juniors in Northern California. Carl Collins and Mitchell Lee Mitchell was number 4 in the nation, and he's a freshman at Harvard. Carl just is finishing up at University of Hawaii. These guys at this level are basically playing ambidextrous off the baseline. Literally, Mitchell, Carl, since the age of 6 to 11 or so, play a lot of 2-racket method and emphasize the dominance of the non-dominant hand on the backhand side. So think about that, dominance of the non-dominant hand on the backhand side, okay? All right, great stuff there. Excellent. Any questions, you 4? Okay, awesome. Now, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, right? Or Star Wars also. So there's a little bit of prequel. This actually to me is the finished product, okay? So we did a couple things to develop them before we actually got here, all right? So this would have been like finishing that last exercise that can get high performance based, okay? So I'm gonna take you guys through just a 3-stage progression here. And I'm gonna ask, and I'm gonna beg. I'm gonna ask for 3 people out of this 4 who are okay getting down on one knee. Awesome, good. So grab a towel, Bevan. Grab a towel, Steven, and Sophie, you're in. Blair, don't worry, Blair. We're not gonna vote you off the island quite yet. Keep that towel folded, okay? Great, you guys are awesome. This is why I love being in the South, okay? Love. Okay, so I'm gonna have Steven right here, 60-foot line, awesome. Towels down, beautiful. Bevan right here, towel down, awesome. And Sophie right here, towel down, awesome. Sophie, you need a racket. Bevan, you need a racket. Steven, you can sit your racket to the top. No. No, I'm glad I didn't get that one on the mic. There you go. Okay, now, emphasis on this will be 2 things. Number 1, back knee down. Okay, so we're gonna all do, why don't we all do the backhand side so everybody can see that side, okay? Awesome, perfect. So right knee's down. Good, excellent. So this is literally from lowest to highest in terms of this progression, okay? So the goal is, again, must learn to receive before sending. So Steven here is going to utilize the cone as an implement to catch the half volley and catch the floating volley. It's on me to be able to deliver accurate feeds. So you heard that? You're going to short hop it on the half volley, catch it on the volley, cones in your right hand. Bevan, you're going to keep the racket in hand. You're going to pick up the half volley, pick up the volley. Do not move off the towel for you too. Sophie here is my high performance volunteer. And I'm only doing this with the high performance because obviously they have great body control, okay? Sophie, you're gonna pick up the half volley and you're gonna stand up for the volley. But you're not gonna move your back foot. So she's literally gonna go from bending knee to stabbing the volley and back down. This is gonna be a quad burn a little bit. I'll be nice, okay, Sophie? Show me what that looks like. Half volley, volley. Good. Do it one more. Half volley, and step up, and volley. You can step, but the back foot's gotta stay. That's why I would only be trusting my 4 or 5 level private lesson or high performance students. So again, this is all 3 levels of that. Your junior's growing. You can use it over 9 weeks. Have a little bit of fun. And here's the last aspect of that. This will be way before Steven. Sophie, can I borrow your racket? I want you to pinch your backhand step right up to there. So I want to make sure she's using the, I know you guys looked at me and said he really works on his abs a lot. No, that's not what I use this for, okay? Don't laugh, Moody, all right? So I want to get her to focus on the thumb snap and pinky down. Half volley up, pinky down for the volley. So I really want her to get very, very familiar. If you guys have a top spin pro, you can do this. A little harder to do it on the eagle eye, okay? But I want to make sure Sophie goes half volley up and then volley down. And I'll give this to her about 5 to 10 times, good, where she's just learning to feel that directional change in the way her wrist can be used, okay? I'm a contractor's kid, so in a larger scale, we'll have a wheelbarrow wheel from Home Depot with a rod, make sure the sides of it are softened. These you can buy 4 to 8 of them, literally. I keep 4 to 8 in a large group setting. So you can do this a bunch of different ways here, okay? All right, so everybody remember your jobs. We're only gonna do about 4, maybe 3 to 4 reps, and then we'll go there. Remember, accuracy of the feed is very, very important here. I'm gonna go slow and make sure you guys have the sense of where you're going. Ready, Steven? Half volley. Good, good. Don't move. Volley. A+. Half volley. Good, good. Don't move. Volley. Sophie's got the difficult job. Half volley. Good, good. Step up. Volley. Good. Again. Now we'll start to pinch through. Good, good. Volley. Nice. So you guys now get to see this layer of progression going east to west and really making sure that you get to show off your feeding skills here, right? So half volley, tough. I like to toss a test in there every now and then, Steven. Wink, wink. Good. Volley. Good, good. Ready? Half volley. Good, good. And volley. Okay, awesome. Give them a round of applause. They made that look like they do that every day. Towels off. You guys are awesome. Okay? Excellent, excellent. Obviously, I can't travel with all my equipment from the gym back at the National Tennis Center. For those of us who are in the 40 and over demographic, you can buy a nice foam pad from Perform Better. The reason I say 40 and over is because all physical therapists have it in their office. Don't ask me how I know that, right? But you can just use that foam pad. Comes in a small, I think it's a 1x1 cutlet, and can use that to professionalize this. Obviously, I bring the towel because that's what I can fit in my suitcase, okay? So thank you guys there. And we are ready to dive in and progress and go from there, okay? So next thing we're gonna dive into is putting this all together and kind of live balling it and making sure that 3 to 5 weeks, they've got some live ball play and competition to stay engaged. So Blair, you are ready to grow. Let's get you back out here, okay? All right? All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna split. I'm gonna have you spin the racket with the same gender closest to you. Winner stays on that side. Unfortunately, it comes to this side. Okay? Notice I said winners and unfortunates. We don't have any losers. You guys don't want to know what I was going to say because losers play. I'll let you fill in the gaps there. I see Jorge over there thinking, you better not say it, Dale. You better not say what losers play. It's not tennis. That's all I will say. Okay? All right. All right. So what will happen here is this is going to become a competitive exercise that we will call, we like to call Foursquare. Okay? And so actually, what we're going to do is emphasize the quarters of the court. I'm going to ask Blair, can you grab this quick court line here? And leave it at the 60-foot line, perpendicular to the net, where it would be for a tee. Okay? Right about here. Looking good? Yes. Beautiful. So in this exercise of Foursquare, the one thing you are solely responsible for is your quadrant of the court. So this is when it gets a little bit fun. Kids are having fun. Adults are highly engaged, okay? So that's number one. Blair, you're responsible for the deuce. Bevan, the ad. Sophie, the deuce. And Steven, the ad, okay? That's number one. Number two, this is going to be coach constraints. So as I go through this competitive exercise, I will literally be focusing on how to make sure they have a challenging time and a challenging position to play first strike ball. All right? So, Blair, if I call cross court, you are playing deuce to deuce, including the doubles alley, with the boundaries of just your half of the court. If Sophie misses it down the line, it's out, you won the point. Okay? If I call approach, Blair's first ball approach must be down the line because I always like to overemphasize down the line approaches, forcing them to create the angle. Okay? So if I call out approach, Blair, you're going to be playing into Steven. And once that point starts, you're literally locked in to playing that opponent. So it's not going to change. So it's either going to be a Blair versus Sophie conversation or a Blair versus Steven conversation. Okay? Again, this competitive exercise is called Foursquare, so you can have a little bit of fun with it. Ready, Sophie and Blair? Okay. Just remember, Sophie, we're playing for money here. All right? Here we go. I looked at you. See, Blair stretched a little, by the way, Sophie. All right. Okay? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Cross court. Good. Play it out. Nice. Be nice. Good. Don't be nice. Oh, get the half volley. Awesome. 3, 2, 1. Cross court. Okay. Very dynamic, and obviously they're taking it nice and easy. But as you get into this, the emphasis is on the receiving side to focus on attacking via transition. Okay. Heads up. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Approach. Okay. Good. Got to get in. Got to play the down the line approach. Okay. And Steven, excellent. Approach. Has to find the high-low delivery to find her defensive zone there. Nice. 3, 2, 1. Cross court. So no rest for the weary here. Good. Excellent. Nice. Good. I like it. Sophie, way to take over. Cross court. Okay. Bevan. Good. Ooh. All right. And breathe. All right. Come up for air. Give them all a round of applause for making that look easy. Because now is where we're going to challenge them a little, okay? So that would be the most basic form of Foursquare. And listen, just like every other game in tennis, I really don't care what you call it, but enjoy it, take it. You know, you can call it 4 corners of the country. It really doesn't matter, okay? But the emphasis is on first ball reception and starting to engage in the transition zone. So we're going to make it a little more challenging. Let's see, I want to hear one challenging progression from the crowd. And anybody, you guys can feel free to dive in there. I know he's going to, nobody wants to hear his. Right? Awesome. So, changing the positions of offense and defense. Very good. So, forcing the defensive posture of the receivers and allowing Sophie or Steven to take advantage of the court there. Okay, I love that. Anyone else? You guys are feeling it out. What do you guys think? How can we make it more challenging? Don't take the easy way out, Sophie.
If you don't tell player what to do, then we both have to be alert.
Beautiful. I love that. Okay, so a little bit of first ball recognition, right? We're talking first ball recognition. If I deliver deep to Blair, she's got to make the assessment to play cross court to cross court and focus on outside to outside. If I give it short or shallow, she's going to make the assessment to take it down the line and open up the court in that manner. Okay? All right? So I love all of those. I also love a couple of coach constraints, okay? Or coaches utilizing the feed to posture that out with the clay court. So you can wrinkle in all of those, all right? They're all awesome. The one that I will add in today will be simple, will be the absorb and rip, okay? So we want to focus on the defensive hands here, okay? Blair's ability to receive and posture that. And then second ball is the rip, okay? Now, listen up to this, Blair. When I send you the ball, you're literally going to catch and send. So before that first ball, you're going to get 2 hits in. Sorry, before that point starts, you're going to get 2 hits in and then engage from there, all right? Now, that's only going to be if I call offense or approach. If I call defend, it's going to look like that, Blair, okay? So it's going to be up to you to blend a little bit of what my feeds are saying combined with what Sophie likes, all right? Okay, ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Defend. Good. Tough feed. Sorry. I had to. I'm a tennis pro. It's there's no bad feeds, right? Okay, here we go. Absorb and rip, right, Bevan? Catch, rip. Good. And, okay. Well played. Time. Hold on. You had it, Steven. Trust me. I got full confidence in you. No, but you're doing great. All right. So, Bevan actually took the offensive feed cross court because he wanted to see if you guys were awake, right? But if he gets to absorb and rip, it's an approach shot down the line, okay? Let's re-engage. Here we go. Ready? Nice. Get in there. Awesome. Good. 3, 2, 1. Back pedal. No rest, Sophie. Good. And hold. Got to go cross court. Right? 3, 2, and good. Ready? Let's go, Sophie. Awesome. Excellent. Nice. Blair's warming up. Well played. Oh, sorry. Hey, here we go. Good. Ready? Okay. Cross court. Good read, Bevan. Excellent. Come on, get there. There you go, Steven. Oh, baby. Nice. Ready. Okay. No rest for the weary. Excellent. Good read. Great read on the feed and recognition. First ball there, Blair. Get in. Time your split. Nice. Uh-oh. Game, set, match. I love it. Excellent. Great round. So a bunch of different ways to progress or regress that. I thought they did pretty awesome once they got in the flow of it. And you guys take that, run with it, and be as creative as possible. You can also go into players drop feeding, especially if you're in a 3-0 clinic. It might make it a little easier. Okay, so a bunch of different layers to that, all right? Round of applause for Foursquare, because in lieu of time, we're going to skip a couple things on the agenda, and I want to just give you guys one last competitive exercise that you can take home, because this one has many different layers, okay? So, first things first, court lines are excellent. Leave them there, Blair. Second thing, each player, grab the closest 3 balls to you.
That works.
It can be at the
I was
net.
like, you loaded.
Good. The name of this competitive exercise is called Kick Your Butt. At least that's the way I've held it. I was told that a version of it was played a lot during Todd Martin's years at Northwestern. His head coach at the time was Paul Torselli. And obviously you want to have a lot of up and down exercises. We're running multiple courts of juniors. Also, if you're running adult clinics that have multiple courts. So everybody has 3 balls. Good. That's part A. Let's move up to the net. Let's meet each other at the net. Your opponent is down the line. Blair, do me a favor. Sneak those balls away. Bevins, sneak those balls away. Okay. Here you go. Good thing the camera angle's over here, right, Bevin? Okay. Right now, 3 plus 3 is 6. So if they play all 6 points out, they can potentially be tied. So the way it's going to be broken is we're going to add in a 7th ball and kick your butt, okay? Now here's the way this is going to work. You're playing the opponent out half court. If we're playing multiple courts, it's very good to use it as an up the river, down the river philosophy. If I beat Bevin, I move up the river. He's unfortunate, he moves down the river and so forth, okay? That's part 1. Part 2, all 3 of our balls are going to be located at the net, Bevin, on the ground. Awesome. And we're going to start this by spinning the racket. And I'm going to play your first round, if I may, Sophie. So we're going to start this by spinning the racket. So up or down, Bevin? It's up. I'm not even going to look because I got to win the feed automatically. I have to. I'm sorry. Okay? So with that said, the 7th ball is going to rest with me. You guys, why don't you spin the racket? Awesome, good. 7th ball goes in your pocket, okay? The 2 rules emphasized here. Everything is about vertical movement in this exercise, okay? So number 1, we're gonna play 6 points minimum. If it's 5-1, we're done. If it's 3-all, that's the only time the 7th ball will come out is to break the tie. That's part 1. Part 2, start at the service line, Blair and Bevin. We're good to go. As soon as I pick up my ball, you get to backpedal back to the baseline. I must feed from the service line, and we'll play that point out. As soon as the point's done, I change positions of defense and offense. So I will then regress back. Bevin has to sprint up and play his feed from the service line. Why is this called kick your butt? When Bevin is doing that up and back to get the feed, in an adult world, we're not doing butt kicks, we're catching air, right? No oxygen tanks. But in a junior world, I want them idle via the butt kick. So literally, I want to make sure that they're staying athletically engaged while Bevin's tracking down that ball. When I tag the net, you're going to feed. You ready to go, Steven? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, got it. Let's play. Feeds in. Good. Excellent. Okay, out. Back pedal. Good, good. Okay, butt kicks are engaged. Okay, hold on. Good, keep going. Feed. Good. Nice. Awesome. Okay, I lost that point. Ready? Back pedal. Good. Butt kick should be going, Blair and Bevin. Awesome. Feed. Good. Okay. Got it. Out. Back pedal. Good. And breathe. Okay. I'm only stopping because I'm on a hot mic and I can only take 2 more deep breaths. Right? But you can see how this can push the vertical coverage. Okay? How can we change this a little? Yeah, they're like him again. Feed it as soon as you pick up the ball. 2 ways. 1, I'm going to give you the 2 quick from today. Part 1, Bevin back pedal. And also give me a ball, Steven. Is the feed now must start at the 60-foot line, and I must self-feed a half volley, and then get in, okay? Got it, good, perfect, nice, excellent, we're done, okay? That's the first one to emphasize transition. The second is very, very critical. I'm going to feed. I cannot move out of no man's land until the ball bounces. Somebody help me out and tell me why. Say it again? Yeah.
He's forcing you to make a half volley.
Beautiful. So adding that live ball element to where Bevin's got to learn to produce a defensive zone delivery, and I got to pick up a realistic progressed first volley or low volley, okay? Half volley. Ready? Bounce. Now I can get in. 3, 2, 1. Go, go. One more. Uno más. This is the last ball. Okay, butt kicks are going. Okay, bounce, good, nice. And we'll keep that going back and forth. Again, my favorite part about this is we did 3 balls because we're all 40 and over. But I would start round 1, except for her, she's 28 and under. Round 1 is 3 balls, round 2 is 4 balls. I would max this out at about 5 balls. And you've now gone through 15, 20 minutes in your junior program, had a lot of fun, and kids have moved up and down as such. Huge round of applause to these 4. Thank you guys for having me. Okay, and again, thank you, Bevan. Thank you, Blair. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Sophie. Thank you, Alan and Pat and company. Whenever I'm in South Carolina, I have to say thank you, Jorge Andrews. Okay, it's a forced behavior. And again, thanks to my boss, Danny Zauser, and the National Tennis Center for letting me come down and hang out with you guys today. Thank you, guys. We'll see you guys inside for lunch. I got one pop quiz question. Person who gets this right takes home a BJK logo prize. Both parents are one of? 15. You got it right, Moody. Excellent. He's getting the BJK logo hat. Somebody else said, he already knew the answer. You heard it when I got it. Good. Everybody stayed awake. Thank you for hanging out. Love to see you guys via email at the National Tennis Center. On the agenda, love to share with me what you took away today, and as well as some inspiring thoughts that it may have prompted from you that we can fold in and also see how it works in the future, okay? Thank you guys. Have a great lunch and have a great rest of the conference.